Hi Flosstube, it's Kippy, the Academic Stitcher, and it is Monday, January 13th. I'm so excited to get to today because today is the day that we are beginning our Cinnamon Stars Stitch Along, and I'm just so excited to get that thing started. So, other things first, and then we'll get to that. I wanted to show you a couple of things. As you can tell back here, I am beginning to decorate for Valentine's Day. I don't go quite as all out as I do for fall and Christmas, but I do. I love Valentine's Day. I just think it's just fun. And so, yeah, I'm looking at it thinking, there's like the little cake stand here. I've not got my things up there yet and all, but anyway, we're on our way. We do have all the Christmas things down, which is big. It's really big. I've actually got it all in the attic, and I go ahead and I put my Valentine things up because the house seems so empty after you take all the Christmas things down. And so, I don't know. I'm thinking I may have to add some more Valentines. But anyway, things that I have done in the past that are about to go out. I actually have no cross stitch Valentine. I couldn't believe that. Even wintry, I didn't have any. So what I pulled, because I haven't put them in the pillow forms yet, are a couple of quilted pieces. These are pillow covers, and so I've got just a little patchwork heart here. I love Valentine's Day, and these I did like recently in the last couple of years. That one I think I just made it up. It's just some small 2-inch squares finished. Then I have this one with the quote from Mother Teresa. This one I found online. I saw it online. I'm not exactly sure where I saw it, but I will find it and link below. Again, these are just 2-inch finished squares. And then this is a long strip, and I believe in the instructions, like I said, I did this maybe last year or the year before, and it seems like online, wherever I found it on the blog that I found it on, she suggested a font, and so what I did was I printed it out just on paper, and then with a light box, I just traced it. And then I just did a stem stitch on both of those. But I want to make sure I give credit to the person who designed this. So I'll look that up, and I'll link that below. This has been kind of a very crazy couple of days at the beginning of January here. I think I've probably told you before, I teach at a university in the online part of the university, very old university, but I teach in the online graduate school. And last week I was with a group of our students. We actually we have students come in for a week, and it was a wonderful week. I get to meet them face to face instead of just being online. I love online opportunities, learning opportunities, because that was really important in my graduate work. But I love seeing people face to face. So that was a great week, but it also meant that I was away from home for a week, that Christmas things didn't get put away as quickly as I wanted them to. And so I got home late Friday night, and there were storms, and it was warm and humid in Dallas, and I get home and it's cold. There was all kinds of storms. I'm in Texas, so some of you may have heard, and some of you may have experienced some of the craziness in the weather from Friday to Saturday. So then we had a race on Saturday. It was snowing. Well, it wasn't snowing. It snowed overnight. And where we ran, I'm in a running club here. And the place where we ran was, most of it was on sidewalks this time. And so there was ice on the sidewalks. And so people were going around the ice in the grass and all where there was snow. It was just crazy. But everything went well. No one got hurt. And I didn't have the best time, the personal time that I ever had, but it was okay. It was all right. So that's kind of the way my weekend went. I also, while I was gone last week, I actually did some shopping because we do not have a dedicated cross-stitch shop here in my town. There is a needlepoint place, and they have a tiny little section of cross-stitch. They used to be like huge. It used to be almost the entire store, like 20 years ago. And now it's very less, like microscopic. So most of my shopping is done online. I get a lot of things from Fat Quarter Shop. I get a lot of things from 123 Stitch. But in the Dallas area, there are at least two that I know of. One is on Preston in Dallas, and then one is in Arlington. And so I took advantage of the opportunity to actually get to go to an actual face-to-face place, talking about online versus face-to-face, an actual needlework shop, cross-stitch shop. And yes, I shopped. I'm kind of embarrassed about how much I actually shopped. But I did have Christmas money, and I spent it. I did. And I'm going to show you some of it. I'm not going to show you all of it because it was like crazy too much. And there was also, before I went to Dallas, there were like New Year's Day specials or New Year's Eve specials at the Silver Needle from Tulsa. I don't know if you shop there, but they are just so kind and so wonderful. So big shout out to the Silver Needle in Tulsa. That package should actually be here today. Yeah, I'll show you that next time. But I will show you some of my haul. But I want to start out with a couple of finishes. One that's stitched. This one I'm not going to fully finish until next Christmas because it's easier to store it like this than it would be finished. And I don't know how I want to finish it yet. So I showed you this last time, what I had done. And this is my Christmas list. Okay, I'm going to try to get this. There we go. My Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers. I used the Call for colors, except for the little car up here at the top. I just did it in the red that is on all the rest of the chart. As I'm looking at it here on camera, the red looks much more red than it looks in real life. In real life, it's more of a violet red. I think last time I said it looks like a really dark magenta, and it really does. It looks more of a magenta. But I think in the on the chart, the car is blue, and on this fabric, first of all, my car is red, and so I wanted it to match my car. But also on this fabric, I don't think the blue would have shown up very much or very well. So I changed it to red to match my car, and I really like the way this turned out. I think I said before I would probably, if I were to do it again, I would probably change some of the colors. but I'm okay with it, and I'm not going to stitch it again. It actually went pretty fast, so if you're thinking about doing this, and I know a lot of people, Priscilla was doing this one, but a lot of other people were doing this one online, it goes really fast. The words, I think, stitch up really quickly. So that's one finish since the last time we talked. And then I decided I wanted to, I've got a nice tall ceiling in my living room, and it goes to the front door. And so there's this big empty space in front of the front door. And Fat Quarter Shop back in the fall had a pumpkin wall hanging that I finished. And I don't know if I showed it to you or not, but I will at some point, maybe this fall. Anyway, it looks so blank up there since I took that down. I was going to do something at Christmas and everything was just too crazy. Not enough time. So I thought I'm going to do a Valentine wall hanging. And so I did this one. I don't know if you can see it. Whoa. There we go. It's just 3 little candy hearts, or candy colored hearts. And I just cross-hatched, quilted it on my machine. The back looks like this, okay? And I just made it up. I just, you know, they're just made up hearts. I kind of wish I had, you know, done something to match, to make it look more like candy hearts, like stitch some words on here. But I was really eager to get this. I did this all in one day. I did it really fast, which is not normal for me when it comes to quilting. And I haven't got this hung above my front door yet. It is a little skinny top to bottom. So I wish I'd made it a little bit taller, but I'm going to see if I like it up there. If it looks kind of puny up there, I may do something else with this. But those are the 2 things that I finished since the last time we talked. I have fully jumped into the stitching something different every day idea. My entire stitching life, I've never done that. I've worked on one thing until I finished it, or I stopped stitching for a long time. And I'm trying to embrace the stitching something, you know, specific on every day. And the reason is I think I will do better if I don't get bored with something. Like my Christmas list, I had to make myself finish that because I did not want to have to pull it out again next Christmas season and finish it. I am going to have to fully finish it, but the stitching is finished. So I have several things to show you, several whips. The first one is the new Chalk Full by Priscilla Blaine and Hands On Design. This is snowy. I am working on the big one. And I'm going to do all the white first and then go back and fill in. And that's the way I've done, more or less done the others. So there's what I've done so far on snowy. I don't really decorate a lot that's just winter. I take down my Christmas things and I put up Valentines. I would love to see Priscilla do a Valentine jar. I know she says on her videos that she doesn't really decorate for Valentine's Day. So I was trying to think through whether or not I could take one of the jars and maybe make it into a Valentine jar. Obviously, it's not going to get done for this year, but I thought about maybe trying to do that for next year because I really do more Valentine than winter. I have a few snowmen, but not very many. So I think also there's quite a bit of red on the chart. It's red and blue, so I don't think it looks Christmassy. But I thought about changing the red to maybe a green or something, so it looks even less Christmassy. I don't know. To me, snowmen are Christmas, so I don't really have a lot of them, but they are so cute that I just, and I'm in the club for Fat Quarter Shop, so I thought I might as well stitch it. And the little one is adorable, but right now I'm working on the big one. Okay, so what else am I working on? Another hands-on design. Year of Celebrations. I'm doing the January, but I am changing some of the colors up. I'm doing it on, this is Nordic Blue Linen 28 count. And here's what I have so far. I'm using more or less, I think the same orange. I'm using white, 3865 I think is the number. I'm not using white. I think the orange is the same, but I changed the black. There was black here on the word frost, and January was also black, but just laying the black on this blue fabric, it really didn't show up well. So I changed those to gray, and I changed the blue, that is the outline here, all the blue here, I changed that to a lighter blue so that it showed up better. I also changed the brown in his little snowman arms to one that showed up better. So if you're interested, I'll give you those numbers, but I saw someone on Instagram had done this one. Several people had done it on blue, and so I guess I could have showed it to you like this. I really liked this one on blue. Blue is my favorite color, and I haven't stitched a lot on blue. So I don't know. I really liked it. I did most of this in one sitting. These are really quick stitches. So this one, I'll have that one finished up really, really soon. Okay, so the next whip that I have is Suffragette by Little House Needleworks. I am participating in Stitching with the Sisterlies Stitch Along. With this one, 2020 is the 100th anniversary of the passage of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. I'm very, very interested in women's history, and I just thought this was a fantastic little stitch, and I love anything red, white, and blue, anything patriotic. I love those things. My 4th of July decor is like over the top, so almost like Christmas. But so I'm doing Suffragette, and that is, I haven't worked on this one in a couple of days. Let's see if I can fold this up better. There we go. So this is what I have so far. I am using the called for colors, except for the white. And for those of you who met Lucy last time, she wants to be a part again today, and she's bringing me toys and wanting me to play with her. On her dress, it uses the called for is Antique Lace by Classic Colorworks. And we're going to pause right here, and I'm going to play with Lucy for a minute, and then we will come back. Okay, Lucy is now happy. So back to Suffragette. The pattern calls for Classic Colorworks Antique Lace. That one is very, very white and has very little variegation. And I thought I wanted a little bit more. This one actually may be more than I was thinking, but I'm okay with it. I'm liking the way it's turning out. This is Antique Lace by Gentle Arts. So I think there are very few in the two companies that have the same name, but this one, they both have an antique lace, but Gentle Arts has a lot more color to it. And so that's the one I used, and I really like it. I'm very pleased with the way it's coming out. I think everything else that I'm using or plan to use is the called for colors. So Suffragette, and then my last whip is our Cinnamon Stars Stitch Along. And for those of you who are going to participate, thank you so much. It's so much fun to have other people that are stitching the same thing you are and watch everybody's progression. And I just think it's part of the fun of being in this community. So Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street Samplers. I have an older version of this. It's a big version. I don't think the packaging was bigger. I think the newer ones I think are look like all the other Plum Street, but this one I've had for a little while. So Cinnamon Stars, I actually have it. There is Suffragette. On the other side is what I've started. Just barely got started on this one. I've started on the fence for Cinnamon Stars, and I am using the called for colors in Cinnamon Stars, except for wheat fields. And I cannot find wheat fields anywhere. I have looked at Fat Quarter Shop. I've looked at 1-2-3 Stitch. I looked at both of the needlework shops that I was at in Dallas this week. Nobody has wheat fields. So I'll have to come up with something else for that one when I get to it, or I may use the DMC conversion if I've got that. I don't know exactly what I need it for, but it is the only one on the list that I don't have and I cannot find. So wheat fields, who knows? But the rest of the chart, I plan on using the called for colors. If you are interested in the stitch along, the hashtag that I hope you will use is TAS Cinnamon Stars, the Academic Stitcher, TAS Cinnamon Stars on Instagram. Like I said, I do not, I really don't get on Facebook. I have a Facebook account, but I just don't use it. So I hope if you are on Instagram that you will use the hashtag. I will be following it, and I can't wait to see what you are doing. This is my first ever time to, not to participate in a stitch along, but to lead one, to host one. So I'm very excited about all of you who have said that you want to stitch with me. So thank you. And I have no ending time in mind. This is a fall chart, so if I have it finished before September, I'm going to be really happy, but we'll just continue it. There's no end date. Just feel free to tag it every single time you have some progress. So those are my whips. And now my embarrassing, very large pile of haul. And there's quite a bit here. And like I said, I'm not showing everything because it would take forever. And I have a package coming today from the Silver Needle. All right, so I have told you before that I am a member of the Floss Fix Club from Fat Quarter Shop. Floss Fix this month was Cornflower Blue, and like I said, blue is my favorite color. And look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. I'm so excited to see this. One of them, I believe, is Old Blue Jeans, and the others, Old Blue Jeans, which I use a lot. The others I've not used before. So, except for Old Blue Jeans, which I'm always happy to have, these are all new to me. So, very excited about that. All right, where to start? Let's start with fabric because I've got that on top. These I got from 123 Stitch. Oh, by the way, the blue that I showed you, I got from 123 Stitch and it was on sale. So keep watching 123 Stitch. I think I got it for like, I don't know, $8 or something for that big piece of linen. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is 32 count Basalt Splash. This is Lugana. I love stitching on Lugana. It's probably my favorite. I like it better than linen. It's a little more even. And I love the dots. And I've got something specific planned for this one. Thought it looked like snow. And so I will show you in just a minute what I have planned with this one. Another piece that I got from 123 Stitch is another piece. Or this is linen. This is Aztec Red Gingham. Lost in Floss, Barb and Leanne. I think Leanne was the one who was, or I guess they were both stitching Yes, Virginia. And they were stitching it on, or at least one of them was stitching it on this gingham linen. And it was just absolutely beautiful. It's very subtle. I think it actually shows up better on camera than it does in real life. It's not quite that obvious in real life. I just think it's beautiful. It is so soft. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on this, but it's beautiful. And then I also got a piece of blue that is the same. Okay, blue jeans, gingham linen. Again, I think this one maybe is a little bit truer to what it looks in real life. The gingham is very, very subtle. So I got that. These two pieces I got at Creative Stitches in Dallas. And these are, I believe they're, yeah, these are just small pieces. Picture This Plus, I think both of these are, yes, they are. Just some nice, this looks gray on camera, but I think it's really more blue. I have not used anything by Picture This Plus, and I thought these were just really pretty, and I'm kind of into blue right now, so I've got another one. This one's a little different. The other one is a little more grayish, greenish blue, and this one is more of a denim blue. So lots of beautiful stuff to stitch on. This one I got, I think, I don't remember where I picked this one up, but this one, Erica Michaels, she has several of these. There's both the strawberry and the little pillow, the little rectangle pattern. Both of those are in this one chart. I'm going to be stitching the little pillow. I just think those are adorable. I'm sorry about the glare, but you can kind of see dashing through the snow. Okay. Okay, I mentioned a minute ago that I love anything patriotic, anything red, white, and blue. I'm over the top when it comes to that. And I love stitching. I love quilts that are red, white, and blue. So I have lots of patriotic quilts. And I have lots of plans for patriotic stitching. And this one by Plum Street Samplers is called American Sampler. This one is big. The stitch count is 227 by 189. And I am so excited about it. I'm going to get that a little closer so you can see what that looks like. Don't know if I'll have it finished in time for 4th of July or summer this year, but we'll see. Okay, so I showed you Suffragette. This one I found at the Stitch Niche in Arlington last week. I have not seen this before, but it's along the same line. Okay, it's called Sister Suffragette. There you go. Now you can see it all. And it has votes for women 1920 to 2020. I have a picture on my phone of the way that they had this one stitched up. It's not exactly like the picture here. They did not use the gold on the letters, and I'm going to stitch mine the way that they did. They were very kind and let me take a picture of their sample. So that one will be stitched very, very soon. Also, there are patterns for all these little buttons, these vote buttons. And there are 3 here, but there are more than that on the inside for different countries. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 different countries. So I don't know. I saw this on the wall. It's like, I got to have that. Got to have that. So, Sister Suffragette. I had no intention of doing this. None. I don't know. I hope you're familiar with Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Olivia. She does some amazingly beautiful stuff. She quilts, she stitches, and she is hosting a stitch along right now with someone else, and I'm so sorry I don't remember the name. But she is hosting a stitch along with Anniversaries of the Heart by Blackbird Designs. And I had seen it on her Flosstube many times and thought that is very, very pretty, but I don't have time. I've got so many other things I want to work on. Work is crazy. We're at the beginning of a term and all. And I was at the Stitch Niche in Arlington, and they had this thing as a sample, all one piece, all 14 designs, one piece. It was absolutely beautiful. And I was like, okay, I got to do it. I've got to do it. I would not have done it looking at the chart. But all stitched up as one piece was one of the most beautiful things I had ever seen. This is the first one. There are 12 charts, but 2 of the charts have a bonus piece in them. And I'm going to be stitching that. And they had theirs done on 40 count linen. I have never stitched on 40 count linen before. I've never stitched on 40 count anything before. But I can't even tell you how beautiful it was. So I'm going to start this one this week. And I will be using the called for colors. I ordered the floss from that order shop over the weekend because I wanted to see. I didn't get it while I was there because I didn't know what I had. So I waited to see what I had, and so I had to order. But if you're interested, I will also link this below. Anniversaries of the Heart Stitch Along, hosted by Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. While I was there, Stitch Niche, I also found this. This is, for those of you who are Prairie Schooler fans like me, this is an original chart. This is tag, the heavier stuff. This is not the paper that is just so disappointing every time you open it up. This is one of the originals. Oh, and by the way, it's a whole lot cheaper. It was, they at Stitch Niche kept those costs exactly, what they would have been otherwise. And rather than, whatever they're charging now for those paper copies, this one is Santa and Friends, and it is one of the originals. They had a couple of other originals there, but there's some I already had the copies of, and that's a real bummer. But anyway, so this one, I love it. And I've done several of Priscilla's chalkboards, and I know a lot of people say they don't like to stitch on black, but I have found that if I have a good light, which I do, I got it at Amazon, and if I use, and maybe Priscilla is the one who said this, I'm not sure, I can't remember, but someone said that with their glasses, they go up at 1.5 a power in their readers, and that they have no problems. And I did that, and I'm shocked. I don't mind stitching on black at all. I don't even have to have something underneath that's lighter colored. I have no problem stitching on the black once I upped my power on my readers. That was the magic touch. So if you're having trouble stitching on black, give that a try. It might work for you. I know it worked for me. So I plan on stitching those sometime, at least one of them before Christmas next year. I thought these would make really good. At least one of them would make a great Mania start. So that's what I've got planned. Okay. If you remember back one of my first floss tubes, I showed you Pumpkin Kisses and Harvest Wishes by Stony Creek. And I love that silhouette look. And I found a couple more, and these came from 123 Stitch. Also by Stony Creek, this one's called Reindeer and Ribbons. I love this. I don't know that I'm going to do the piece at the bottom. I don't know. To me, it doesn't. I'm not sure that the two go together, but I love the reindeer. I think the reindeer's beautiful. There's actually two colors there. I hope you can see. The ribbon is more of a red, and the deer is like a really dark brown. Just love those silhouettes. So I got this one. And remember the Lugana? Okay, this is the one that I got to stitch on that gray Lugana. Dashing Through the Snow by Stony Creek. Silhouette, absolutely beautiful. I will probably stitch the bigger snowflakes, these and these, but these little ones, the little tiny ones that are all through there, I probably will just leave those off because of the white dots that are already on the fabric. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll just use, I think I'm going to use 3865. I hope that's the right number. It's the white that's just not quite that really bright white DMC. But I might end up using Gentle Arch chalk. I don't know. It just sort of depends. I think the chalk covers better. I don't know, it's fuzzier, it's fluffier or something. So I might use that for this one, but I'm not absolutely sure. So anyway, Dashing Through the Snow, Stony Creek. Last thing I wanted to show you, as you know, I'm a quilter. Sisterhood of Scraps. This one just came out last week. There are some beautiful quilts in here. I have no idea which one I'm going to do first, but they're just. I love scrappy quilts. I cannot wait to get started on this. I've always wanted to do a trip around the world, so that could be one. I love half square triangles, so I love this one. I have no idea. Pretty sure if I never bought another piece of fabric and never bought another quilting pattern, that I could quilt from now until the day I die and live to be 120 and not run out of stuff. So it's not like I really needed another quilt book, but I really just loved everything I saw about that one. So I got that. And embarrassingly, like I said, I've got another package coming from Silver Needle. It should be delivered maybe even during the time I'm recording this, but I will wait and show you that next time. Okay, so biggest thing right now is Cinnamon Stars Stitch Along. I hope that you will stitch with me. Use the hashtag TAS, the Academic Stitcher, TAS Cinnamon Stars, and I'm following that hashtag on Instagram. So I'll be looking for your progress and can't wait to see what you're doing. I think that's everything this time. I really hope that everyone is having a fantastic start to 2020. And if you have a Flosstube channel, please leave a link in a comment below because I would love to follow you. And if you have anything you'd like to share, any comments, any suggestions, please leave that as well. I think that's it. I hope everyone has a great week. I will see you again in 2 weeks. In the meantime, I'll be looking for you on Instagram. Have a great day, folks.